big news that came in from United States. Law enforcement agencies have filed charges against an Indian national for plotting to kill Khalistani terrorist Gurpatwant Singh Pannun on American soil. Remember, Pannu is an American citizen. The indictment also says that 52-year-old Nikhil Gupta was handled by an Indian government official. Essentially, the charge is that an Indian agent orchestrated the foiled plot to kill Pannu. The agent, who's identified as CC1, has not been named in this charge sheet. Nikhil Gupta, in turn, as the US charge sheet states, recruited a hitman who was to do the job for $1 lakh. But turns out the hitman was actually an undercover US officer. Now, 52-year-old Nikhil Gupta is allegedly a drugs and weapons trafficker. He agreed to kill in exchange for being let off the hook in a criminal case here in India in Gujarat. He was arrested in Czechoslovakia and is awaiting extradition. Now, the charges come after Canada accused India of killing another Khalistani terrorist, Nijjar, on their soil. Meanwhile, today, Canada's Prime Minister reacted saying, and I quote him, "The news coming out of United States further underscores what we've been talking about from the very beginning, which is that India needs to take this seriously. The Indian government needs to work with us to ensure that we're getting to the bottom of this," unquote.
Insofar as Canada is concerned, we have said that they have consistently given space to anti-India extremists and violence, and that is actually the heart of the issue. Our diplomatic representatives in Canada have borne the brunt of this, so we expect the government of Canada to live up to its obligations under the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. We have also seen interference by Canadian diplomats in our internal affairs. We've said this from this podium, and that is obviously unacceptable.
Meanwhile, India has responded to the allegations by the United States. The MEA spokesperson, Arindam Bagchi, said that India takes such inputs seriously and that they will look into all aspects. On the charges, the MEA said it is contrary to Indian government's policy and a panel has already been set up to probe the matter.
Of course, such inputs very seriously, and a high-level inquiry committee has been constituted to look into all the relevant aspects of the matter, and necessary follow-up action will be taken based on the findings of the inquiry committee. You would have seen this in our statements that we have issued. We cannot share any further information on security matters. As regards the case against an individual that has been filed in a US court, allegedly linking him to an Indian official, this is a matter of concern. We have said, and let me reiterate, that this is also contrary to government policy. The nexus between organized crime, trafficking, gun running, and extremists at an international level is a serious issue for law enforcement agencies and organizations to consider. And it is precisely for that reason that a high-level inquiry committee has been constituted.
Known to go for pro-Khalistan graffitis, which is certainly an attempt by him to vitiate the involvement in the country. He was also given this task, and he was also lured that if you commit this kind of crime, then certainly the visa will be provided to you and you can become a Canadian citizen. So while the Canadian government and the US government are still struggling to stop those special the pigs, which is certainly a big trouble in the bordering area of Canada and US. You can imagine that this kind of false, just new claims which is coming out from the both authorities is certainly trying to eye on the Indian government's diplomatic stand. See, over the period of time, Indians' stature, the stature of Indian government in the foreign diaspora has increased over the period of time. That is one of the worry because of which these kind of claims will keep on coming. And if you look at the statement very categorically, they have been referring to a suspect who is considered to be CC1. Are you actually telling, is the US government actually telling that they were not aware that who this person is? Why this code name has been given to this individual? They have been claiming that they have a very foolproof security mechanism. If that is so, that what was a hesitation for the US government to come out and give the name of this person clearly?
Earlier, my colleague Riyanka spoke with the foreign affairs expert Rabinder Sachdev about the charges made by the United States. Listen in.
The fact that the US law enforcement agencies have filed charges against an Indian national for plotting to kill Khalistani terrorist Pannu on the US soil, and also, they have said that a government official was directing all of this. How do you react? Because we know that Pannu is a Khalistani separatist, and there has been so many threats that he has been issuing to India, but nothing of that sort is being addressed.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. Yeah, it certainly is. It is a serious matter, a very serious matter, I would say. This is a case filed in a court in New York, right, which charges the Indian individual Nikhil Gupta, apparently, who is a criminal at large in the world in money laundering and whatever. That he was acting on behest of a government employee of the government of India, right? That's the charge. Here we've straight away said that, yes, we've ordered a high-level inquiry based upon the input from the State Department. So, I mean, long and short of it, it is a serious matter. We do not know what the truth is. I mean, we are observers. I mean, the Indian government is saying that it's not our policy. So could it be that, you see, another possibility could be this guy, Nikhil Gupta, who has been arrested. Apparently, he's made some kind of plea bargain. I think, as you're saying, that he will divulge some things in lieu for his own charges being diluted. Has he cooked up the whole story? Or, there was something to it, but he's blown it up beyond proportions in order to get himself off the hook on the charges otherwise for which he was being charged.